Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're joining us from. Welcome to Bennett Mercado Masterclass webinar. And today we have with us Viceroy Bali. And we are lucky to have the general manager, Patrick Farrell, and the director of sales and marketing, Tanya, with us to share this really unique property in Bali. Patrick, thank you for joining us. Tanya, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Maggie. Happy to be here.
Great, great. Please share this unique property with us.
I will. So firstly, we've been proud members of Bennett Mercado with you since I think March this year, March
Correct.
20. So we're really happy to be here and really looking forward to continue to work with you and the team.
Mhm.
So, yeah, my name is Patrick and this is Tanya. I'm the general manager. I used to be director of sales and marketing a few years ago. I then left to move to Vietnam for 2 years, and then I returned as general manager about 1 year ago. And Tanya has the joy of doing director of sales and marketing now. Do you want to give a brief intro?
I have joined Viceroy 2 months ago. However, I am already 3 years in Bali. I was in Uluwatu with two different properties, Hilton and Harbour Kandara. And now I think I have made the great choice to join Viceroy. It's a beautiful property and very, very good team. And the general manager who has been in director of sales and marketing, who understands sales marketing, who gives a great support. So it makes my life easier.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
Cool. So yeah, I guess I'll lead the presentation, and then
Mhm.
if you have questions, Maggie, please jump in throughout. But we'll
Absolutely.
keep it brief. But yeah, I'll start by saying that Viceroy Bali is an independent hotel, so we're not part of the Viceroy chain, a Viceroy brand, let's say. We opened in 2005, and we have operated independently as a family-owned resort. We just share the name with the beautiful brand, so it's not a bad thing, I always say. It's a nice kind of affiliation to have. And our main, I suppose, distribution partner is Small Luxury Hotels, SLH, and we're part of the Finest Collection. And I'll tell you a bit more about the Finest Collection in a couple more slides. But the picture you can see on the screen is our main swimming pool, the infinity pool, which I suppose is one of the first things guests see when they arrive from the reception, just to the left of this picture. And as you can see, we're situated in a beautiful part of Ubud, just 5 minutes from the center of town. But just to give you an indication of Ubud, it's right kind of in the middle of Bali. So typically guests and clients will fly into Denpasar, DPS, and they may spend some time down south. So in places like Nusa Dua, Seminyak, Uluwatu, where Tanya used to be, and then combine that with some time in the jungle. So Ubud was made famous, I suppose, widely so by the movie Eat, Pray, Love with Julia Roberts.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
so
Yes.
we still get a lot of that. We get a lot of people coming to Ubud to find themselves to do all of this, but the energy up here is really quite special. There's a lot of beautiful green trees. There's just a different sort of vibe in Ubud compared to the south, let's say places
Yeah.
like Semin, Nusa Dua and that. So give or take, it's a 90-minute car journey from the airport to Ubud if you're coming direct, and it's fairly similar if you're coming from, say, Nusa Dua or Senor or Seminyak. So quite diverse. And then beyond Ubud, you've got more North Bali and then into East. A lot of this East Bali, like places in Ahmed, Singaraja, it's undiscovered. So Ubud is quite a good stopping point if you do wish to go further. Beautiful resorts on the other side, but definitely not as well known as the southern side. Often what people will do, Maggie, is fly in and then just stay down south because it's closer to the airport, and then acclimatize, let's say, and then come up to Ubud. But yeah, very common to do a bit of a combination. And I guess
Very
it
good.
works with a resort in Nusa Dua and a resort in Ubud. So that's a good
Excellent.
combination. Ubud itself is really popular for outdoor activities. So again, I mentioned the greenery that we have. And the top left picture here is Champawan Ridge. I like to walk this ridge every Saturday morning. It's beautiful, fresh air. You can cycle as well. So there's a lot of options if you want to be kind of more active when you get here and breathe in that fresh air from those trees. Whitewater rafting is really popular as well. You can do mountain hikes, volcano hikes, like first thing for sunrise. We can arrange guided tours from the hotel to bring you. You might leave the resort at 2 or 3 a.m. to get there for sunrise, see the beautiful experience, and then come back to the hotel pretty much in time for breakfast finishes. So it's a
Wow.
nice way to really start the morning. So yeah, in general, there's a lot of outdoor activities to do when in Ubud. But then back to the property itself, I mentioned that we're in a beautiful part of Ubud, just 10 minutes outside the town of Ubud. So that really works in our favor. You're very close to the center of Ubud, but also when you're on property, you feel like you're disconnected from everything. So you've got this beautiful valley that all of the villas look out onto. And the piece of land where my mouse is now is also leased by the property. We have protected the land by having that lease and also protected the view for guests. So, it maintains the privacy that we offer and it just adds to the overall experience. In between
Yes.
that land across the valley and us, there's a river that flows between. And I mentioned that the whitewater rafting is a popular activity. The good thing is that rafting is not allowed to take place here, meaning it's much more peaceful. So resorts that
Hmm.
are on the southern side of Ubud, like in Sayan, that's where a lot of rafting takes place. So you would hear it from the resort. So I always like to flag that here it's super peaceful. You get the beauty sound of the river, but no extra noise. And this is just an aerial shot of the same sort of setting. You can see the river more clearly there flowing through
Hmm.
across the valley. And again, this is our land, let's say, which we have as part of the property. One of the most, I suppose, unique selling points that we offer, one of the many, I guess, is that we have a helipad, and it's very commonly used, actually. You'd be surprised because Bali sometimes in high season, like now in July and August, has a lot of traffic. So you can be stuck on the road sometimes unexpectedly. So having the helicopter to take you, for example, from the airport or from Nusa Dua or Seminyak, it takes about 15 minutes, give or take.
Oh,
So you really save a lot of time. Plus, you get the beauty of having, I suppose, a view similar to this from above.
bird's eye
Quite,
view. Yeah.
quite a nice view.
So, quick question with that. I would imagine, and just want to clarify that there's probably a limit to how many flights per day that can land. So
Sure.
not to disturb the guest on property.
Exactly. So we don't allow helicopters. So they're only allowed, say, between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. So it's very
Okay.
much a daytime activity. And yeah, we restrict it. So we wouldn't do more than two a day because it can be quite loud and stuff. I actually just heard a helicopter passing this morning. It wasn't coming to us, but yeah, it can be loud, but obviously it passes quite quickly as
Right.
well. It's definitely monitored by us. We wouldn't allow very much. But the great thing is that we're the only property in Ubud with that service. So it really
Hmm.
helps us stand out a bit more,
Well, and you can
which
enjoy your time in Bali without sitting in
exactly.
a car.
Yeah,
It's a
exactly.
very great feature.
Yeah, for sure. And I think I have another snap of it there. And we work with the about three local companies who are fully, of course, certified and have all the licenses and this and that. Air Bali
Excellent.
is one of them. And then just to mention again about the finest collection of small luxury hotels. So we've been a member of SLH since I think 2008 or 9. So a good like almost 15 years or so. Um, and we've worked with them a lot throughout the years. We were the only property in Bali for quite a few years. Now there's about six, I think, but we're very happy to have the finest collection badge. And I was just checking for the update yesterday. They have only 20 of those properties out of their, say, 700 globally. So we're really, really happy to be in that sort of top tier of the
Hmm.
collection. And that really helps us again to stand out. And with that, SLH last year, July last year, 24, added a partnership with Hilton. So Hilton Honors members can redeem points. And I know it's not always great to highlight this with travel advisors, but I'm speaking to an advisor from the US who has clients who are redeeming their points, but he's also arranging other experiences for them, and they're checking in today, for example. So we can't always just rule it out, I guess. It's part of the
Yes.
the
Yes,
world.
unfortunately. Yeah, it is. It is. So, but it still doesn't diminish the partnership with the travel advisor
For
and
sure.
in keeping
Yeah.
that lines open. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So that's just, yeah, the partnership that they've had. And we've been seeing quite a few new bookings from that partnership, which I guess it works in our favor. But yeah, for
Hmm.
sure, the travel advisors are still a very important part.
Yes.
We wish to keep going. We have then in total, I'll get into the accommodation now, 40
Hmm.
units. All of them have a private pool. And I guess one of the other big selling points that we like to highlight is that all of the private pools can be heated. So it's lovely actually at this time of year. July and August is high season, weather is normally great, but in the evenings in Ubud, because we're up that bit higher, it does get a bit more chilly. Not cold by any means, but it's lovely to have a warm pool in the evening and first thing in the morning. You can see the steam rising from.
Yeah, that's luxury for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And it's very inviting and very relaxing to have that. I'll just mention briefly the accommodation types. Now we have pool suites, which is the entry level. So very spacious in size,
Very
even
big.
for entry. Yeah, 150 square meters. The bathroom is sort of semi-outdoor. It's covered, as is the swimming pool. So the pool looks like this. It's more like a plunge pool in the pool suite. And it's covered from direct sunlight. So some clients actually prefer that. They don't want to have the heat on them all day. But yeah, it is the entry level. There's four of them, still beautifully designed, and I actually quite love them. And I really love the next level up also, which is Terrace Villa. So these were part of the
Beautiful.
original build of the resort in 2005. And I should have mentioned earlier, actually, all of the resort has been designed by Margaret Bainbridge, who is the owner. So that goes back, it's fully family owned. She has designed everything from scratch. So we haven't worked with, say, global designers or so. She has really put her touch on everything. And I always say, just from looking at reviews that we have online, you can see that the guests feel that it feels like a home nearly.
Very personal.
Yeah, very much so. And it's just nice to have that. So the four terrace villas that we see here in the picture, these were built back in the beginning. So they have that very original, more original feel of a Bali villa with the traditional furniture. And the plunge pool, infinity pool is just out there and again can be heated. The next level up is our most popular category. It's called
Okay.
Deluxe Villa. And that's located on the three levels that we have. So the resort is split into three different levels. And Deluxe Terrace Villa is really popular for honeymooners, couples. Equally, families are welcome because we do have interconnecting through the terrace outdoor, so you can get to them through the outdoor space.
That was my next question. Are any of these connecting?
Yeah, for sure. We have about 10 units that can be kind of five, kind of that can become, say, two
Okay.
bedroom, which is a nice feature for sure. And all of them have this private ballet that overlook the jungle, so you can relax
Oh,
there.
beautiful.
Yeah, really nice and chill. And at the end of COVID, we finished 10 new villas of the 10 new deluxe terrace villas. And the difference with the new 10 is that there's a slightly larger swimming pool and
Okay.
deck on these. So you can see from these two pictures, if I go back to this one, this was the original design, say. So the new one, we just extended the swimming pool out. It just gives that more, I suppose, luxurious feel to enjoy the space. And again, all of them have that view, that very special view onto the jungle. And then just looking at more two-bedroom units, these are actual two-bedroom villas with second bedroom upstairs. They're called Vice Regals. So ideal for families. Again, we focus mainly on like couples and honeymoons, but over the years we had to develop, I guess, and add in the family aspect. So these opened around 2019. So yeah, 6 years, I guess, from now. And they're very beautiful as well in terms of design and space because the garden is extended. The swimming pool is larger to accommodate the up to 4 or 5 people that might be in the villa. And you can see here the steps, they take you up to the second bedroom, which I suppose typically is used for the children. But again, very spacious in design. And then my favorite villa is, of course, Viceroy Villa. It's the top tier villa, two
Wow.
bedrooms. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful garden. You're right above the river. So in this, you're down on the bottom level of the resort, and the river flows just underneath you there. The swimming pool is the largest of all of the villas. And now, just last year, we added a hot tub and a jacuzzi. It's not in this picture, actually. I should add that in. And we
That's
also
okay.
rent the bedrooms. The bathroom looks like,
Beautiful.
yeah, it's a bit more Instagrammable, which is always popular
I
now.
would say where its location is on the resort, is it much more private?
Yes, I mean, all of the villas I can say without a hesitation are private, but this gives you that bit extra because you're fully kind of at the bottom of the resort. There's
Right.
nothing around you. So yeah, very, very private down there.
Beautiful.
And then just speaking briefly on food and beverage. So we've got two lovely restaurants. One is called Cascades. It's where we're serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We also do social hour here, which is like a GM cocktail, social guest gathering type thing. We do it here twice a week. So we have complimentary canapes and cocktails there. But we're serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner in this restaurant. You have that beautiful
Your
view
view.
when you're there. Yeah, and it's semi-outdoor, but fully covered. So if it's raining, obviously not a problem. And that's next to our greenhouse, which we're really proud of. We really developed it during COVID as well. So we had the time to nurture more herbs, and a lot of the garnishes for the dishes and cocktails actually come from the greenhouse. So we're really proud to have that. It also helps to serve some of the plates that we serve in the restaurants and the staff cafeteria as it happens.
Excellent.
So it's a multi-use center. And then come to, I suppose people call it the jewel in the crown of Viceroy. It's aperitif. It's our fine dining restaurant. We've won multiple awards like Best Restaurant in Indonesia. We're waiting for Michelin to come to Indonesia to hopefully get at least a 1 star. It's not yet decided when it's coming, but I'm hearing lots of rumors. So it could be this year or it could be early 2026. And when it does come, we really hope we can get there because we're serving a 7-course degustation.
Wow.
It's like for those foodie lovers, it's a destination, a dining destination without a doubt. We get many guests who are not just staying at Viceroy, they might be staying in one of the other resorts in Ubud. They'll typically come here at least once during their stay, and they'll combine that with a drink in our pinstripe bar. So you have this very different sort of feeling and
I
bar
know.
design. Yeah. And we have
Surprising.
very much, yeah. People are always taken aback by it. We've got a pool table. There's a grand piano. We do live jazz 2 to 3 times a week. And if you buy a bottle of your favorite spirit, we can give you a cabinet with a key to come back and enjoy whenever you wish. So
I
that's
like it.
an added little touch. And the menu there, we call the bar pinstripes, so it's around all of the design of the uniforms and stuff are have pinstripes, and it's
Hmm.
based on the New York era, the New York 1930s, when the gangsters used to wear pinstripes,
Yeah.
and tales that we've developed come from there, and also from those people who moved to Bali back in the day. So there's a kind of a
Right.
story behind
No,
all the
I mean it immediately gives that feel, but
yeah.
just nostalgic. But it's I like that each have a story. They're
Yeah, for
very
sure.
different, but I like that it has a story. I love it.
Yeah, and it's a great place to just chill. And we have a really nice bar food menu there actually now as well. This kind of gives you a vibe of the atmosphere
Fun.
um, there. And then we have the spa. So of course, being in Bali, you can't really come here and not try a spa treatment. Uh,
Correct.
we've got a lovely spa called Akoya, and we're doing the traditional treatments such as massage, facial,
Hmm.
reflexology is really popular. But we also offer the LED masks. We're currently installing, as I speak, a cold plunge and an infrared sauna. So we'll have those sort of biohacking longevity
Hmm.
tools at the ready in the coming weeks, which will be nice. But yeah, we also work with a local brand called Sensation. They're developed in Bali. They have very much an Aesop look and feel, and the products are really, really beautiful. So we're happy to work with that brand. And then we're the only property in Ubud, perhaps Bali. I need to clarify that.
With the squash.
Yeah, with the squash.
It looks like.
Yeah, I think we are. So like squash, and you'd be surprised, people actually are using it quite a lot,
I
especially
believe it.
now.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
believe it.
it's a great workout. And then the gym is just next to that, and it again overlooks the valley. Really nice setup, and good equipment. So like if clients do want to just chill in the resort, they have the option to work out as and when they wish. And we do plenty of complimentary activities during the week. So today, for example, we have social hour at Pinstripe, which is the bar I just
Hmm.
showed. And then later on this evening, we've got live jazz. And we mix that up with other activities such as morning flow yoga, and we do rice paddy walks, learn how to make a Balinese offering, these type of things, just to kind of always touch on the culture of which there is so much of in Bali. And that's it. I guess we're coming to the end now, Maggie. My contact is there and Tanya's as well. Um,
Excellent. Well, and I like that there's so many activities that are offered so guests can do as little or as much. It does
absolutely.
feel that you encourage guests to enjoy, the family atmosphere. It sounds like that the owners are very active with the
Very
resort.
much.
Yeah.
And I should really speak a bit more about them because they're really great families. So they built the resort in 2005 and they run it. They still do run it. So they know the business really well. Amanda, who's Margaret's daughter, used to be the director of sales and marketing. Then she became general manager, and now she's had two baby boys. So she's taken a step back from the operation, but still very much involved and used to travel to the States to meet with advisors over the years as well. So I
Hmm.
love that they understand the business really well, and it's their main thing. So they want to make it a real success.
Very good. I have a question regarding obviously different guests want different views. Is that something that advisors can reach out to kind of make sure they're getting a specific room, whether it's the lower tier that's on closer to the river or one that like they prefer to be up higher on the ridge closer to the resort? Is that
Yeah.
something they could, work with you to kind of guarantee at the time of booking?
For sure, yeah, we're
Okay.
happy to always do our best to allocate a specific room type. Of course, we can never guarantee, but we do have, like you say, if people want to be up higher, say closer to the restaurant,
Right.
they might have mobility issues or whatever. Of course, there's buggies to take you everywhere, but we can easily kind of allocate rooms, and that's with pleasure to kind of do that. And the really interesting point is those new deluxe terrace villas, of which there are 10.
Hmm.
We sell them at the same rate as the old deluxe terrace. So it's just, I suppose, a newer version of them with the bigger pool.
Right.
So
Right.
if
Right.
advisors want to have that for their clients, it's just to flag that and we can allocate.
Right. And it should go without saying, but I always get this question. All villas and public space are air conditioned, including the gym, squash court.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
But
Yeah. The only one that's
you
not air conditioned is Cascades. It's semi-outdoor, but there's fans. You never feel like hot there.
right, right. That makes
Yeah.
sense. Okay. No, it's definitely a US question.
Yeah,
Whether they even turn it on or use it, it's just the idea of going and not having it, and it happens to be a hot day. We like to always cover it.
for sure. In our pre-arrival emails as well, we'd always ask the guest if they prefer AC on, what temperature they'd like the pool at, those type of things. So yeah.
The feedback we are getting from advisors, you and your staff think of everything. And I understand that many of your staff members have been with the property for many, many years. It sounds like obviously, Patrick, you have. So
Yeah,
does lend itself to more of a family, they're they've been with the resort and the
totally.
owners have given them a lot of training, a lot of great
Yeah,
feedback on service. So I definitely think that speaks to kind of the environment, the wonderful working environment that's there.
definitely. And I love that they really do feel part of the family, they call it. So
Yeah.
it's a really nice feeling for
And
sure.
I think that translates when the guests are, enjoy their stay for sure.
Yeah.
So when we talked about combining, how many days would you recommend, or what's a typical length of stay for most
And
most guests from the US if they're combining
most
with
of
another?
it's like, yeah, 3 to 4 nights is the
Okay.
average. We've got a lovely family from California in house at the moment, and they were in Nusa Dua before as well. So
Okay.
they've done 4 nights there. They're doing 4 nights with us. And I think I'm not actually sure. I need to speak with them at breakfast again. I'm not sure where they're going, but yeah, 4 nights, 3 to 4 is a good number.
Excellent.
We can do longer and shorter, of course.
Okay. And last question regarding, and this is just to remind advisors on the best time of year to visit Bali. Maybe best time of year for weather, but then also maybe when it might be less busy because you do speak to a high season, which is, right now, July and
Yeah,
August. But
sure.
when would be maybe some shoulder seasons where the weather still is great, but maybe not as busy?
Yeah, I always say April, May, and September for me are the most beautiful times to visit because you'll still get good weather. I mean, global warming aside, uh,
Right.
April, May, and September, and it's not as busy, say, on the roads. But July and August definitely consider the peak season. We get a lot more family bookings during that time as well. But then festive as well is peak for us. So from
Okay.
Christmas
Right.
Eve right through until the 6th of January is typically quite busy. Bali is also busy at that time as
Hmm.
well. So like April, May, and September for me are always the highly recommended. But like July and August and June, of course, yeah, super as well.
You're not going to say no. No.
Yeah,
um,
exactly.
So you kind of touched on some of the activities that are really popular right around the hotel. Is that something that your concierge team or your team can handle if guests,
Yeah.
want to do?
For sure, it can be arranged when they arrive or
Okay.
pre-arranged on with our reservations team on email or as they wish. And what we do actually, Maggie, a lot of guests like to connect on WhatsApp when they arrive. So we offer the service if they wish to kind of contact the team at their leisure, they can. So a lot of communication is done through WhatsApp at the moment, as well as verbal. But
That makes
yeah,
sense.
everything can be arranged on the day itself as well.
Very good. Well, thank you both for joining us
I think
and
Tanya
sharing.
had one point.
Okay,
Just one
great.
point, I think we forgot to tell about
Okay.
the quality of our drinking, of our water.
I always forget.
Ah,
Yeah, so I touched on the greenhouse, so that's one of the sustainability act or options we have. I don't know what the right word is, but one of our bigger ones is that all of the tap water in the resort is drinkable, and that's a huge thing in Bali, even in
wow.
Asia. So we have this 18 point ultra filtration system that we treat the water in. It not only sends out clean water to the rivers in Bali, but also allows us to serve drinking water. So yeah, it's just one of those nice touches. We remind guests in all the villas that it's doable. Some guests still prefer not to, I guess, just from habit. But
Yes.
I drink it
Right.
for example, and I'm totally fine. So yeah, it's a nice
But
point.
it's, even if you don't drink the water, it's good for your teeth cleaning, for the face, for the hairs. It's a very
Yeah,
hydrating.
you don't have to worry about it because yeah, a lot of the resorts might put bottles of water next to the tap here just to use that. I mean, we have bottled water in the villas, of course, but in the bathrooms, we you can use the tap, so it's quite nice.
Oh, thank you for making sure to point that out. That's definitely unique.
Yeah, it's a
And
good
on
point.
top of the helipad and on top of, the great location in Ubud.
Yeah,
So these are great. Thank you so much. And with the greenhouse, I did see on there like cooking and part of the cooking class that guests
for
they would go to the
sure.
greenhouse to source some of the
They
herbs
do.
for, okay.
That's where it started. And same with the cocktail masterclass. So
Yeah.
we do the pinstripe. So the team start there and show where the ingredients are coming from. And yeah, it's a lovely, lovely activity.
I love it. Well, I can't wait to come myself. And thank you
We're
both for
waiting for
joining me.
you.
I know. Thank you so much for sharing this very special resort and have a great day.
Thank you,
Thank
Maggie.
you
You
very
too.
Thank
much.
you.
See you soon. Bye.